Yes, welcome to our today's presentation, and today we are going to look at global sourcing. Once again, my name is Mr. Lumerga Ivan, and I will take you through today's lesson. So, what is global sourcing? Global sourcing refers to the practice of procuring goods, services, or raw materials from suppliers located in different countries around the world. So it involves a strategic approach to identify and engage with suppliers outside one outside of one's domestic market in order to optimize cost, quality, availability, and other factors. So there are other raw materials that are not available in every country. They are just available in the specific countries. So under global sourcing is when we get to understand the availability of these raw materials, or even the quality. The quality differs in different countries because different countries have their own quality standards policies. So global sourcing enables organizations or companies to access this kind of opportunities, like the cost, which is low in other countries. I remember in the year 2012, there was sugar price crisis in East Africa, more especially Uganda. And in Brazil, there was a very good price and good quality of sugar. So Ugandans, business people, you decided to import this sugar from all the way from Brazil to Uganda because of its quality, because of its availability, and because of its cost. Because by then the price was even very low than the one which is produced locally in Uganda. So that is the importance of global sourcing. It gives you access to these various items. So global sourcing has become a prevalent practice for businesses seeking to optimize their supply chains and gain a competitive edge. However, it requires careful planning, effective risk management, and a comprehensive understanding of the global marketplace to reap the benefits and overcome the associated challenges. So, under global sourcing, because you're dealing with multiple countries, it means that you need to have a comprehensive plan, a careful plan, and very effective risk management process that will help you overcome the risk that are associated in importing from the global market. Because in the global market, you are not certain of the laws that are in a every specific country. So you need to carefully understand these laws. You need to carefully understand the financial implications in that country. For example, in the US, you cannot, if however much you have your own money in cash. For example, here in Africa, we can carry money in cash. You can go to a shop and pay worth of 10,000 or 20,000 US dollars in cash of an item. But in other countries, that one is impossible. You cannot go because you want to buy a product. For example, a product that is an equivalent of 40,000 SSP. in the US and you want to pay in cash. No, there is a due process that you need to go through. You always pay electronically. In cash, it is not required because of there are very many reasons. Okay, so the risks are there are very many under the global market. So you need to understand all these risks according to where you are going to buy these goods from. Then, what are the benefits of global sourcing? Though there are a lot of challenges that are associated in global sourcing, there are also other benefits. For example, cost saving. One of the primary motivations for global sourcing is to reduce cost by exploring suppliers in countries with low labor and production costs. Businesses can often achieve significant saving in operational expenses, manufacturing costs, and procurement. Other people, very many companies and organizations are rushing to Dubai and China to buy the goods and others also procure services from China because of its lower cost that are offered on these goods and services. Because they significantly make the organization also achieve or reduce their operational expenses and their manufacturing costs. They can even go and manufacture the goods there, assemble the goods there in China, and they just transport and come and do the assembly here in the country where they want these goods to be used from or the final user. So also access to such specialized expertise. So in the global sourcing, it allows companies to tap into specialized skills, technologies, and knowledge that may be scarce or unavailable domestically. Like for example, in the case of South Sudan, we are lacking the necessary technologies that are required to undertake the activities here in South Sudan. For example, we are still using the 3G technology, that is the internet. Even the 4G is a tag of war. There are other areas that you reach which you cannot even have access to internet. So when we go to the global market, we can get all these technologies that are necessary to allow us have this internet. This technological things, even this internet that we are having, is not manufactured here in South Sudan. It is imported from outside. So this global market helps us to access the skills that we need to develop our own country. So it enables access to markets with highly skilled labor forces or expertise in specific industries, leading to improved product quality and innovations. So our products here in South Sudan will improve if we go to the global market and see what is happening outside there and source from the global market. That will help us to come with new innovations and improve our quality and growth generally in South Sudan. So another point is diversification of supply chains. So relying solely on domestic suppliers can make businesses vulnerable to disruptions caused by natural disasters, political instability, or other localized risks. So global sourcing helps diversify supply chains by spreading production and sources across multiple countries, reducing the impact of any single point of failure. Yes, so here due to global sourcing helps you to have many sources of raw materials or many sources of suppliers than relying on one source. For example, we said global sourcing is buying from acquiring goods and services from countries around from multiple countries around the world. So I can take an example of Russia. During the war that broke out from Russia, a lot of commodities, for example, fuel and bread, they are their prices went up because this Russia is was the great supplier of some of these items, for example, the fuel. So when the war came in, this fuel cannot move away from Russia, or it cannot move freely from Russia. So it means that it is linked the market or the supply, which made the prices to go high. So war really can disrupt the supply chains, even natural disasters like flooding or, or earthquake. This one can disrupt supply chain. So by buying from many countries around the world, it can help. Because now, if you had resources, if you had sources, very many sources, then if one country is affected by war, if it has gone into elections, because for example, countries like in Africa, if they are going in for elections, the security situation in that country become disorganized, and it is better to have many sources in other countries, such that if that country goes for that election, then you can also go to another country. So expanded market opportunities. Sourcing globally open doors to new markets by establishing relationship with international suppliers. Businesses can gain insights into foreign consumer preferences, develop localized products, and expand their customer base in different regions. So sourcing from around the globe, it opens market for other services, for suppliers. Because now we are using these computers. These computers came in from all the way from the UK. So we are using these computers here in South Sudan. And there are also other products that are coming in from China. There are other products that are coming in from India. So this global sourcing helps in expanding the market opportunities for the organizations and the companies at large. Then we talked about improve the product quality and variety. Yes, global sourcing enables access to a wider range of suppliers and materials, which can lead to improve the product quality, customization, and variety. So companies under global sourcing, because of the market competition, because of the all the companies are brought together, they compete to provide the good quality, to provide their best. So this one can improve the quality of the products due to competition. So companies can source components or raw materials from suppliers known for their expertise or unique offerings, enhancing the quality and competitiveness of their products. So, for example, now people are fighting hard to buy oh, items and products of Apple products because of their quality, and the competitors under this market, they have failed to kick off to Apple because of their products. So, what are the risks and challenges of global sourcing? Though we have talked about the benefits, it means there are also other challenges that can come across. So while global sourcing represents many benefits, it also comes with certain risks and challenges that businesses need to consider and manage effectively. So here are some of the key risks and challenges associated with global sourcing. One, supply chain disruption. Operating across borders introduces the risk of supply chain disruption due to geopolitical conflicts, trade resolutions, and natural disasters or transportation issues. So any disruption can impact production, delivery schedules, and customer satisfaction, necessitating robust risk management strategies. So supply chain disruption because you're transporting goods all the way from India up to South Sudan. So the whole process of moving, transporting these goods up to South Sudan can disrupt the supply chain. You can, because of delays in time frame, maybe if the lead time basically I mean the waiting time from the order, the time during the ordering period up to the time of receiving this goods. So this waiting time, if the waiting time has taken for two months, then because of the disruption in the supply chain, because of because you're operating across borders and in the borders you may find congestion in the clearance points, then it means that that one will buy time eh, for these goods to move. You may end up now, because of trade regulations, also you may end up consuming time and delivery schedules changes, and this one can impact on the productivity of that organization. If it's a manufacturing company, it means that the production schedules are going to change. They are going to keep waiting for these raw materials or for this item that needs to be delivered. Then another thing is quality control and compliance. Then ensuring consistent product quality and compliance with international standards can be challenging when working with suppliers in different countries. So diverse regulatory frameworks, verifying quality control practice and cultural differences require effective communication, regular inspection and quality assurance measures. So ensuring that the quality of the product that you're buying is consistent from these uh, different suppliers from different countries. It is really a big challenge to organizations. So organizations should come up with regular inspections and quality assurance measures that can help them overcome this risk or this challenge because such that the, the quality of the products that they bring in or they buy meets with their quality assurance measures of their particular organization. Then communication and language barrier, because global sourcing involves working with suppliers from different linguistic or cultural backgrounds, then language barriers and communication gap can lead to misunderstandings, delays and errors in specifications. So requiring clear communication channels and possibly translation services. So because now I want to buy these goods, for example, goods from China, then it will because this oh, it will require me to get a translator because some Chinese they don't speak English, and me I speak English, and there is no any other language that we can use to communicate. So if this communication, if this translator does not translate exactly what I meant, also it can bring misunderstandings. Mm. And if I also don't get a translator, it means that also I will not communicate to this Chinese person because he will make errors in the specification because he has not understood what I meant. So by bringing this by after identifying this challenge or this risk of communication and language barrier, you need to get a, possibly a translator to help you overcome this challenge. Then another point is intellectual property protection. Engaging with suppliers in countries with weak intellectual property protection can pose risk of counterfeit products, unauthorized production, or leakage of proprietary information. So strong contractual agreements, confidentiality measures, and legal safeguards are necessary to protect intellectual property rights. So when you're dealing in global sourcing, you need to know the laws that are guiding trade in this in that particular country. For example, there are other countries that have weak intellectual property protections, or they have weak laws or policies on individual products or individual content. So these companies may end up selling these products uh, to a, to another person in a different country, so which may lead to leakage of information, unauthorized production. Because, for example, if you're selling a product, if you're producing a product that is almost the same with the same product with the same branding or packaging with another registered company which has made its name, and you want to sell your counterfeit product to another company. So if you buy the counterfeit product, this can be a risk to you, to organization, because it's not of the same quality. It's not of the quality that you want. Okay, so you need to safeguard that during the contractual agreements. You need to find out that during the stage of making the agreement between the you and the company that you're buying from. Then the issue of currency and financial risk. Fluctuations in currency exchange rates can impact the cost effectiveness of global sourcing because you're buying from countries around the world. So it means that the currency keep changing every day. So this one can impact the cost. So businesses need to monitor currency markets. They hedge against the currency risk. So and account for potential financial volatility to avoid unexpected cost and erosion. So companies need to monitor the currency from of the country that they are going to buy the goods from. So volatility means when I talk about potential financial volatility, it means that the ability of it to change rapidly. So the financial, if the currency is going to it changes rapidly, like in the state of South Sudan, in the space of 2 months, the dollar has risen from 60 up to 100. So it means $1 is equivalent to 1,000 SSP, from 600 to 1,000 in the space of 2 months. So if you're dealing when you're sourcing from a country like South Sudan, you need to be closely monitoring those. So we talk about legal and regulatory compliance. Compliance with local laws, regulations, and trade policies is crucial when sourcing globally. Businesses must navigate complex international trade laws, customs regulations, import and export regulations, and trade barriers to ensure smooth operation and avoid legal issues or penalties. So when you are dealing up with global sourcing, you're dealing with cross borders. You're going to cross borders from one border to another. So organizations must understand the custom regulations of each country that they are buying these goods from, the the import and export restrictions that are under the specified goods that they are talking about, the trade agreements that are governing that economic bloc. So the trade barriers to ensure they need to know the trade barriers that prohibits the movement of those goods. If there are sanctions they need on a specific good or service, they need to iron them out and ensure smooth operations and avoid legal issues or penalties. Because if you don't understand all these things, it will lead to penalties and even legal issues like face the court of law. And this one brings a lot of expenses. It is costly for the organization, and it also wastes time for the organization or the companies. Then we let's talk about the global sourcing strategy development. So developing a global sourcing strategy requires carefully planning and considering of various factors. So here is a step-by-step approach to developing a global sourcing strategy. So when you need to buy goods globally or from any country that of your choice, what do you do? This is the strategy. One, assess your business needs. So start by understanding your business requirement, goals and objective. Determine which goods, services or resources are best suited for global sourcing based on factors such as cost, expertise, market access, and supply chain resilience. Then another thing is also you need availability. You need to talk about that factor availability. So when you assess your business needs, for example, if a business requires IT services, for example, development of the software, I will I will recommend to go globally because there I will get access to expert skills from maybe I can source from the US, I can source from UK, than sourcing internally or sourcing domestically in the country that I'm in, like South Sudan. I will not get the expertise that I need. If I get it, it will be very costly because they are few. Okay. Like for example, if I want to someone to design for me a website online, or if I source it globally, like from US, I can get someone who can design it at $100 and hosting it freely. But here in South Sudan, if I need to get that, I can spend even up to $1,000, and that one is very costly. Yes. Then you need to conduct a market analysis. Then research after identifying your business needs or your organization needs. Then research potential sourcing markets to identify countries that offer the desired advantages. Evaluate factors such as labor cost, infrastructure, political instability, intellectual property protection, then trade agreements, and cultural capability. You also need to consider market trends, emerging markets, and potential risks. So when you conduct a your market analysis, when you have defined, when you have assessed your business needs and you really need, for example, the IT services, need to develop a software or a website, then you need to conduct the market analysis on those. You then need to identify, you need to research for those potential or suppliers who are going to provide you with this product. Mhm. Then you need to look at the labor cost, the costs that are involved, what is required, okay, and other agreements. Then you need to identify potential suppliers. And then after conducting the market research, knowing everyone who is in the market, who is all supplying the same services, then now you need to identify those that you can work with, that you feel like they are potentially uh, capable of doing, giving you the standard that you want. So identify potential suppliers in the selected markets, evaluate their capabilities, quality standards, their capacity, their financial stand, and their legal standing. Even the reputation, what is their image in the people? Because this one also can help you to market yourself. Mm. So, because marketing yourself means that you're going to produce a service that is of high quality standard, because of you're associating yourself with a company that has good quality, that produces good quality. So look for suppliers that align with your business values, compliance requirements, and ethical standards. Consider conducting site visits or audit to assess their facilities and processes. So you need to consider visiting them. If it requires visiting them, you need to visit them. If it requires visiting them remotely, you need to keep visiting them, assess their facility. Then another point, you need to analyze cost and risk. Conduct a comprehensive cost analysis, the cost benefit analysis, that considers not only the unit price but also transportation cost. Yes, because you're buying globally, it means that you need to consider the unit price of buying the item, then you also consider the transportation cost. Because this one will help you understand to know it very well. If you want to buy from the US or China, where do you go? Because US is far, China is near. You want to buy from Japan, or you want to buy from Dubai. You see, these are all cost. This one also helps in determining making decisions. You need to understand the import and export duties, the currency exchange rates, and any other relevant expenses. So assess the risk associated with each potential sourcing market, including geopolitical risk, supply chain vulnerability, and legal and regulatory complexity. You need also to look at the risks associated in those countries. Are they politically stable? The supply chain, their supply chain, the movement, transportation, the people involved in the supply chain. You need to look at that and its complexity. So you need to develop supplier selection criteria. So after identifying analyzing the cost benefit, then you need to establish clear criteria for selecting suppliers. Consider factors such as the quality, the reliability, the capacity, financial stability, responsiveness, social responsibility, and sustainability practices. You can assign weights to each criterion based on its importance to your business. So if the quality is the most powerful, that is key, that factor that you want to take, then you award it some weights like 5. Then capacity or financial stand, if it's the second, you award it the max. So you now start to evaluate the suppliers and giving them these weights, and the ones with the highest score will be the one that you work with. So you need to negotiate the contracts and the agreements. Once you have selected potential suppliers, negotiate contracts and agreements that outlines terms and conditions, pricing, quality requirements. So because now you're working internationally, you're going to move from one country to another, then you can have some Ecoterms, some international commercial terms agreements that are attached to these agreements. Because these international terms can help you reduce some of the cost. For example, if it's transportation cost, insurance, or customs clearance cost, these ones can be covered by the seller or the vendor. So you can also establish performance metrics. You define key performance indicators to measure supplier performance. Key performance indicators can include quality metrics, on-time delivery, cost savings, then customer satisfaction, and sustainability targets. So if the vendor provides in time as agreed, then you need to define this. Then regularly review supplier performance against these metrics and provide feedback for continuous improvement. So you can provide the feedback on how the performance the supplier is performing. Then you need to develop a risk management plan. Identify potential risk and develop a comprehensive risk management plan. You need to mitigate risk through contingency plans, alternative sourcing options, then supplier diversity. If the risk of you risk being or the country being on political issue, political instability, then you can use another source from another country. Okay. So another point would be implement communication and collaboration channels. So you need to establish effective communication channels with the suppliers to foster collaborations, address concerns, and ensure alignment of expectations. Use technology platforms, for example, using video conferencing and other tools to facilitate communication between the two organizations because you're working globally. You may not necessarily need to travel every time there for communication because this can be very costly, but you need to implement communication channels which are cost effective. For example, using Zoom, using Google Meet, this one can be important. Using emails to communicate. Okay, yes. So and continuously monitor and optimize the operation. So regularly monitor and evaluate the performance of your global sourcing operations. Assess the effectiveness of your strategy. Identify areas for improvement and adopt your approach as necessary. So you need to monitor your global sourcing operations and assess its effectiveness. How has it performed? Has it performed the way it was? Has it achieved its objective or goal? If not, then you can need to identify areas of improvement, how you can improve it, and you adapt the approach that is necessary. So you need to stay updated on the market trends, regulatory changes, and emerging opportunities to refine your global sourcing strategy over time. So you need to keep updating your strategy. Remember that developing a global sourcing strategy is an ongoing process that requires flexibility, adaptability, and continuous improvement. So regularly review and update your strategy to align with evolving business needs and market conditions. So today, this marks the end of our presentation on global sourcing, and I would wish to end there. Thank you.